Hi Pisces, this is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life giving you your October reading for 2019. I hope you all are well. I hope things are looking up for you from last month. I've already pre-shuffled and also pulled 3 cards from Colette Baron Reed's The Enchanted Map. I like the map because it does give us some direction and give us some focus as we're moving into the fall season. I think it's a good time to make some assessment and see where we're headed. And so I will be pulling from that deck. Also be taking a look at the King Solomon Oracle and the Tarot toward the end just to clarify and clean up some things and give us some clarity on the reading going forward. So Pisces, what I've got for you is card number 47 right in the middle, the Sacred Pool, followed by to the left of you, the number 28 Movement, and then to the right of you, I've got things coming together, or the coming together card. So the Sacred Pool is about cleansing and purifying. It's a time to cleanse, it's time to purify, it's time to release old debt, release old karma, release old energy, release old problems, issues, and just sort of the baked on, caked on stuff that we accumulate throughout the day. Everybody goes out into the world. You're facing a lot of people. You're in a lot of circles with a lot of energy. Some people are it's particularly if you're empathic, but even if you don't consider yourself to be empathic, when you're in space with people or if you go into certain spaces, some of that energy attaches to us either through our friends, our associations, or just the environment itself. And it's a good practice to kind of clear out, cleanse out, and then you can make room in your energy field for other things that you may be looking for or needing. So cleansing and purifying can look like a lot of different things depending on where you are. If you're talking about emotional cleansing and purification, then it's about forgiveness. It's about moving past old trauma or moving past sadness, depression, things that didn't fulfill us or things that didn't raise our energy up but kind of brought us down. Then you want to cleanse that or clear yourself of that. So if you are talking to your therapist or if there's still some unresolved issues, you want to go ahead and use October as that time to kind of clear that energy out. Another thing about emotional energy and cleansing is you can do a spiritual bath, or that's really spiritual, but it goes along with it because sometimes if our spirit is not fulfilled or if our spirit feels empty in some kind of way, then it will affect us emotionally as well. But getting to that spiritual cleansing, spiritual baths, spending time outside in nature, gridding your room, gridding your the space that's immediately around you, stone healing, anything like that that will allow you to reconfigure or allow your energy frequency to be reconfigured and raised up a little higher. You want to just kind of clear out the old stuff and be prepared for the new. If it's physical, then we know that we're talking about diet, we're talking about plenty of water. Fasting is always a good thing to do at this at the during the period of time when you need to rest, rejuvenate, and also cleanse and purify. Okay, so purification is just that smudging, saging your room, smudging your room, or your space or your house. A little spring cleaning in the fall, you may need that too. But it's just to kind of release the excess energy. It's not necessarily bad energy or good energy. It's just like excessive energy. And when we're going throughout our day and when we're in and out of, like I said, in and out of spaces and places, you tend to accumulate and attract energy. And sometimes it's good to just clear out. And this seems like a good time to do that. With the movement card, what I'm getting is that it's time to move. It's time to take on some, or to it's time to move and it's time to see some new things. Okay. So movement is in your left, which really represents your feminine, which is really interesting to me because most of the time the feminine energy is more recessive. It's about kind of being in the background, not in the foreground. But with this card with movement, it seems like your feminine may need to be activated some. Um, So those aspects of yourself that are more nurturing, more caring, more on the giving side. If you're feeling domestic, and you want to, I don't know, cook a meal for your friends and family, then that would be a great way to do that. And then also you can do that spiritually through meditation, through Reiki, and other kinds of light work. So if you feel like your feminine has been suffering, or if you're feeling out of balance and you've been feeling more aggressive or feeling more, I don't know if you're having, anger or outburst or anything like that, then the feminine may need to be activated a little bit. And then on the right of you, which is the masculine side, I'm getting coming together. So, things are pulling together. It could be love, could be a love relationship. It could be just bringing together two opposites, like we had said about the feminine needing a little activation, or feeling like the feminine needs activation. Maybe that will help balance out the masculine and feminine and bring that together for you. Certainly, if we're talking about the sacred pool and we're talking about purification, then balance would go along with that, because the purpose of the purification is really just to bring us back to balance in a way that makes sense. Okay, makes sense for you. All right, so I'm going to go to the tarot and just get some clarification on, first of all, the sacred pool. Get clarification on the sacred pool. I think I'm going to shuffle these a bit. All right. A couple more shuffles and then we're right there, Pisces. All right, so let's just clarify, please. October. Clarifying October. All right, Wheel of Fortune, that is about change. To me, that goes right along with movement. It certainly goes along with the sacred pool as well. Because anytime you start doing purification, you can anticipate some changes happening in your life. It's the turn of the wheel. It's the turn of events. If you were experiencing something that was, for you, negative, difficult, where you've been struggling, then you can anticipate that change is probably going to be for the positive. Usually when it comes in on the upright and not in the reverse, that's the way I read it anyway. I'm getting for you to pay attention to some details around this change. Definitely pay attention to some details in relationship to the change. You don't want to just move willy-nilly, okay? So if there is a change, or if there's a movement of some sort that is involved with you all during October, I'm getting for you to pay attention to the details of the deal. So if you're getting a deal, if it's about a new job, if it's about getting a new place, a new apartment, just make sure that you have read all the fine writing, the little writing, what do you call it? Small writing? I just lost it, but anyway, so yeah, so just kind of pay attention to the details about the changes and make sure that those are the changes that you actually want. I'm getting that there's going to be a few things. I'm getting the World card, so that means to me that it's not going to be just one or two things. It's probably going to be more than one thing coming towards you. So just pay attention to that. See what's going to offer growth for you. I think that's the main thing, is you're looking for growth. And then also you just want to open and be connected to the spirit around the changes as well, because sometimes when we ask for something, or we're like praying for something, or we want change, or we're praying for change, and it looks like you have been asking for change, you just want to be open to what is coming through, because sometimes the portals open and a lot of things come through. There are many possibilities for you, and you have to make the choice. You have to make the choice. That's why I was saying to make sure that you're watching for the detail, because the devil's in the detail. And so you want to make sure that that's something that you actually want to do. Don't just like accept everything that's coming at you, because then that'll be overwhelming and it'll be too much. But just like get connected. Again, this being connected to the spirit of the universe and to all that is available to you, all the resources that are available to you, things that the world or that the universe has to give to you. You can focus on that while you're doing your spiritual bath or while you're doing your purification. You might want to add that in as an intention, that you're only accepting those things that are for your highest good and not just anything and everything. All right, this card here tells me it's time to also release the old. Again, we're talking about going to that sacred pool. It's like dipping yourself in the water and come back cleansed. I don't know if you can see this well, but there's this woman and she's in this dress, and you see these birds that are kind of down here, and then you see her white wings, and then you're also seeing her embrace a young bird or a tiny bird. It's like embracing the new in you and releasing some of that old stuff that that you've already been there, done that, so you don't need to like do it again and repeat cycles, right? So if you don't want to repeat cycles, and again, if you're talking about the wheel can have you repeating some cycles. So when you're looking at the detail, make sure that you're not like accepting the same thing that you had before just because it feels comfortable. That happens to people a lot. Okay, they end up like they want something new in their life and they pray for something new in their life, and then when the universe opens up with all these things, they end up picking the same thing that they've been doing. It's just in a different form, and then after they get into it, then they're like, oh my God, I hate this job again, or I feel like I'm stuck back in the same situation. That's a part of cleansing and purifying, right? Because you're cleansing and purifying yourself of anything that's old, and also old thought patterns, old cycles. It's releasing the old, definitely releasing the old. All right, so we've got the Knight of Cups, which tells me either there is some romance involved, maybe that is coming in with the coming together. Could be romance, but could also be like you dealing with some emotional issues as well. So if this is, if these emotional things are things related to love or feelings of any kind, whatever they may be, positive or negative, if you are in that space, then you'll definitely want to add that to your purification process. But if it is about romance and somebody coming in romantically, then I definitely see the heart here, and I see the coming together. Remember, we talked about masculine and feminine being balanced. Okay, the masculine and feminine being balanced, and it doesn't matter about your gender. We're just talking about energy right now. So the energy is the idea of masculine and feminine coming together. It's not about being binary. It's really about having the opposite forces, the right mix of opposite forces coming together to create that love situation or that experience where opposites attract. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people, I think sometimes people, when they want love, they want somebody just like them. That doesn't usually work. It's too much of the same thing in the same environment. So opposites do attract, and that's for a reason. It's so that the relationship can be balanced. Getting Ten of Cups too. So again, I'm seeing both of these together as a possibility for love and romance. Also, the possibility for a relationship that is very sensual, very meeting somebody that you're very close to, or that you have a close bond or close connection with. This may be a new relationship. I'm feeling like it may be a new relationship, but it's one that grows very quickly. I'm definitely getting that to get in the come together area. All right, Nine of Wands is waiting, being patient, waiting your turn, knowing what you've already done, and just being on the precipice of change and being prepared for the change and knowing that you have been adequately prepared for this change. The change could be the relationship that you're looking for. It could be that, you needed to bring forth some more caring energy in order to invite this new person, this new energy, this new experience in for yourself. That may also be the change that you're looking for. And certainly if you have been in any kind of relationship where it wasn't going very well or wasn't positive for you, letting go, forgiving, moving on from a past relationship, and then embracing the new one. So interesting reading, Pisces. This might be what you have been waiting for. I think you guys were struggling last month with a relationship type situation that was going on. I definitely remember that. So it seems like some things have opened up for you. Hopefully you've been, or it looks like you've been doing the work around the relationship and where you were feeling, and kind of releasing and letting go of some of that old baggage that you may have been carrying around, because it definitely looks like you've invited a new love situation into your life. I'm getting right here, take your time. We've got the Knight of Swords upright. I would say take your time with this, right? Don't be in your head, which I don't think you all are going to be, because Pisces are really connected to your feelings and stuff. But if you have been thinking a lot about this, or if it has been on your mind, kind of take it off your mind a bit and just allow yourself to free flow. And again, I think that those purification rituals that you develop for yourself this month are going to be very helpful in your progress. I'm getting the Queen of Pentacles in upright, and I'm also getting the Six of Cups in reverse. Queen of Pentacles is really clear about themselves. They understand themselves. Again, we talked about the feminine and raising up the feminine energy, or supporting, or having some support for the feminine energy being activated. And so I'm getting that this is that feminine energy that we're talking about. It's a specific kind of feminine energy, that energy of that's earthy. If you know any earth sign females or women, or people that identify as female that are earth signs, Capricorns, Virgos, or Tauruses, just kind of think about their disposition and how they are. They're always very practical, usually level-headed. They're the type of people that if you're on a sinking ship, you probably want them around, because they're going to have some common sense answers for you. So I feel like that's the feminine energy that you want to tap into right now, like using your common sense, making some good choices, but the choices that really are good for you in all areas, particularly the practical areas of life. So if you're having some trouble figuring out like how to manage that, then get with your earth sign people. Your earth sign people can give you some good advice about how to raise up that aspect of your inner self, or your inner sanctum. And then the Six of Cups is about innocence, going back to the place of the child, but it is in reverse. So I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like this goes with this card when I said, like, don't do so much thinking around it. Like, if the things have been on your mind, just kind of let go and release, and kind of put yourself in a position that whatever it is that you're learning, it's new and it's exciting, and you don't have to like add a negative, connotation or anything to it, or you don't have to fear what might be coming, or you don't have to be fearful of this new romance that's coming in, because you've done your work, you've done your purification, you know that change is coming, you've released some old stuff, and then you're getting grounded and getting some real practical advice from those people that are around you who can give you practical advice. I always recommend that, like if you're like with Pisces, you're a water sign, so you don't spend a lot of time on earthly things, and so some of that may elude you. But when you do have to think about practical matters, and you do have to think about a common sense approach, it's always good to get with earth sign people to help you come up with a solution, or to give you some advice. So don't be afraid to reach out to them if you need to. All right, so I've got the death card. So again, this change that we're talking about, it represents an ending of one phase and the beginning of a new phase for you. So if you're exiting out of an old romance and you've made decisions about that in the last month or so, and you're now ready to receive something new, a new experience with someone else that you can bond with, share your love with, get down with, whatever the case may be, this is a good time. This is not just a good time, this is the time for that. It is the time for that. So you are closing out a deal and going into something new, which feels really, really great for you all, Pisces, because I know last month it was like a lot of stuff going on. felt like it was a lot of stuff going on. Yep, got the Tower in reverse. So the Tower, the Wheel, the Death, the Tower in reverse, the Wheel, the Death card all says it's the end of a cycle. Maybe some things have happened to kind of stir that up and get you going in a new direction, but that's been definitely good because things are coming together for you, Pisces, and you don't have to be that concerned about it. All right, so I am going to reach into the King Solomon Oracle. I'm just going to do one card for you. Just going to do one card from King Solomon. It's number 12. Let's see what the message is for you from King Solomon. It talks about control, authority, and leadership. And again, control, meaning not you controlling other people, but you getting in control of yourself. I think that goes back to the purification process. It goes back to activating the feminine. It goes back to welcoming in this new relationship, a new bond, and then releasing the old. I think that all goes along with it because you got to be able to lead yourself before you're leading others. So having control of yourself, leading yourself through this process is going to certainly help. It talks about assertiveness and authority, taking responsibility, managing your life properly, a willingness to deal with whatever it is that happened before, the consequences of what happened before now, and knowing that those are teachers for the future. All right. It's saying that as a person, if you're going to embody these characteristics and traits, you're a person who's in control, you're charismatic, you're capable, you know your capabilities, you're being assertive, and otherwise not getting in the way of yourself. Okay. So this is about taking control, taking control, and I think that going into a purification phase is a really great way of taking personal control of your life, and others. There's other things that you can do as well, but I think this is the beginning. I think this is a really great start. Okay. All right, Pisces, much better month than last month. I do feel that way. I was like feeling your perplexed nature last month, but I really feel like things have opened up for you all. I think that they will continue to open up as you do that work around your feminine and as you do your purification rites this month. Definitely a time of purification so that things can come together for you in a nice little bundle, a nice little package, Pisces. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. And as always, I hope you have a great October and you're having a fabulous life.